going?
All right, man. What's happening?
I'm president and accounted for.
Howdy.
Howdy, Steven. So how goes with you?
Goes well. I watched the last session.
I got you.
Yeah, that's our way of giving you crib notes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have yet to really get to watch it. I'd set up to watch it on the big TV and it wasn't posted yet, so I watched Logan's instead.
That was because I actually had a hard drive failure that week.
Oh, wow.
So I had to wait until I got the hard drive, a new replacement in, so I could actually do the editing.
I got you.
And howdy, Joan?
Hello, we're playing the microphone shuffle here.
Fair enough. Howdy.
Hello.
How goes?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, it goes okay.
I saw what you posted. Yeah, that's apropos, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's tried a few times. I've had a couple of, oh, hey, you need a 10 and you've got guidance and you've got proficiency and you've got bonuses and this is your stat and da-da-da. And here, have a 2. Okay, with all the bonuses, you get a 10. All right. So I've had a few of those too.
I do like that, how it handles guidance. That's just if it's available from anybody, you can just click and it gives it to you. But we're talking Baldur's Gate 3.
I see.
Yeah. Which has been interesting. Much improved since the beta.
Yeah, a lot of that little video that Peg put up was hilarious. Anyway,
It was. Yeah, it was.
Real life to old style D&D gaming. Quit tearing up my chair. All right.
Cat roller 1 too.
Oh, she's digging at my chair. The blanket is slid down to keep her from it.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I hear you. Get down. You're not helping. You're still not helping. Life of Cats. I seem like I've seen that podcast. Well, Krista goes and gets me a leather chair, and I think it's the greatest sharpening post I've ever seen. They digged her claws into it and really dig. They didn't tear up my cloth chair this way. All right.
The interest of a cat in a piece of furniture is directly proportional to the value of the furniture.
When Krista gave up her office job, she brought me her chair. You want your ice cream? You want to go get mine? So I'll be right back. Yes, I know you two like ice cream. Willow's on the back of my chair. In fact, she's black. She disappeared. Yes, you know that you usually get some of the strawberry. Fine. I'll fight Sapphire for it. All right. Well, all right. I think everybody we need's here. Yeah, pardon me eating ice cream as we go. Just as far as a bit of housekeeping on my game setup goes, we were very close to finishing phase 1. Now, give everybody the option, because you'll be given a last minute decision whether you're going to stay on the planet and fight for it or try a new life amongst the stars. And should you decide to stay, you can still roll up another character that's more spaceborne ready. It's just we're not doing any Jedi. The one we got, we're going to get rid of. This is one of those Disney Channel bait and switches. There's a lightsaber in a promo, but you never see it throughout the entire run of the show. All right. So, that being said, trying to figure out where I want to start.
You're in a bar in Waterdeep.
Yeah, well, there's a bar involved in tonight. Yeah, thanks for that. All right.
Oh,
never mind the tank. It's not there yet.
Okay.
This is just remember where we parked.
They just discovered that my car was stolen.
Yep. The truck's gone, and there's something weird going on in the northwest of the map. So you guys are going to break loose to go back to the logging camp to catch up with the colonel when you find out that's where he went, to see how to proceed. Okay? So how's everybody going to transfer to that map? Who's staying behind?
I seem to recall that we'd sent one person to go back with word of what we'd found.
So
So
I
everybody
think,
else was going to keep an eye on it.
okay, so I think that was going to be Logan and Peg.
Yeah, I want my truck.
Yeah. All right. Armed with that,
Whether can ferry whoever needs to be ferried.
yeah. So that's what I was trying to see. Is are they going to fly back? Are they going to ride back in the police car? What's the plan?
He went back to his truck and it wasn't there. He was going to use his truck.
So he came back and Logan.
I think the original plan was that Logan was going to go back,
Yeah.
and just Logan. But when Logan went back to go back and got to get in his car, he found the truck missing. So
So that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
so that changes the equation. Is Peg wants to go back because he wants his truck.
Yeah, we can put both of them in the squad car as far as that goes. Anybody want to go anywhere with the chopper? I guess is the question. Since you were just here.
I think Neville wants to stay here with this weird thing that we found. Yeah. Because anomalies like this have a habit of disappearing if you don't
Right.
watch them. Yeah.
All right. All right. So let me work on this just a second. See, I don't get it. See, I've gone through and I've fixed everybody's nameplates on mine, but it still don't show up on Matt's. And it's just a little weird.
Matt may need to reload his.
Yeah, maybe.
When did you fix them up?
It's stuff I've been doing sporadically all week.
Yeah. So it's not a reload. Won't fix that.
Yeah. Like I said, but I went through it on individual tokens and did it, and I thought I had it all fixed. Okay.
So when you go through those tokens, you have to expose it not only to yourself, but also to the players.
And that's
And,
what
and there's several different places that you have to do that. It's pretty inconvenient.
okay. I'll work on it some more. Bear with me. All right. So, given that information, we're going to change scenes entirely and go to Mr. Griffey. All right. You're out doing your rounds at the clinic. Not a whole lot going on. There was earlier this morning, there was a little bit of activity. Somebody came in with some injuries and were whisked right back to the ER where the other attending physician, Dr. Caddick, dealt with the situation. You're just coming on duty. You heard about all the activity, but it's been quiet this afternoon. A couple of nurses are flitting about, tending to their daily routine. What are you doing?
Just maintaining, I guess, all my routines if I'm not needed for anything else.
I got you. Like I said, it's basically getting close to shift change. That's why you're here. There's a little bit of overlap. The way everybody talked, the big issue this morning was just, as far as they could tell, he's just some vagrant brought in by a young woman. They were attended to. He was ambulatory when he came in and was better when he left. Evidently, it was just some stitching up and it was over with. But it was just a flurry of activity and it died down to nothing, which is typical. But one of the nurses is a little concerned because Dr. Caddick's been acting kind of weird ever since.
Dr. Caddick's always been a little bit weird, so we don't really notice.
And that's true. In the year that she's been here, she's turned out to be a great chemist and has drawn in a lot of attention to this little clinic. She's devised some sort of chemical bath in that tank back there that seems like cures everyone overnight. So yeah, she's been a little weird.
Handy, that stuff.
Yeah.
Has she bothered to explain anything about what the liquid is?
No, she goes off into it. She says that in theory it could be much better, but with the supplies on hand, she's got it down where it's pretty good. Her and basically the guy down at the Radio Shack put this thing together, and it's one of those things that works, so nobody really fusses about it a whole lot. She'll start throwing chemical equations up on the screen till you gloss over. Chemistry was never your strong point. You're more biology. Anything that tries to solve everything with just chemicals goes against your grain just a little bit. But sometimes medicines are great, but you're more comfortable with intravenous and oral medicines rather than just soaking in something. You wondered how many people in town she's pickled.
Yeah, it ain't right.
Yeah. So like I said, it's brought a little bit of scrutiny, but everybody just passes off as a holistic something and just lets it happen. That she always puts it up as a choice, which way you go. Yeah. I can kind of agree with it. It's going to get hotter soon. Anyway, she's hanging out down in the lounge. If you want to just get an update for everybody's changing shifts.
Yeah, I'll go talk to her, see what's going on. Talk about the emergency from this morning.
And you go in there, and she's down here at the bottom of the map, under everybody's pictures. And when you enter the room, you can tell she's been just weeping, and she's trying to compose herself.
Okay. I ask, is there a problem, doctor?
It's nothing. Everything out there is quiet. It's just that homeless looking guy they brought in this morning was somebody I knew, and his whole world's falling in on him, and I hate to see him in that kind of situation, but I don't know, maybe there's some sort of doom that will befall us all.
It's quite possible.
So she stiffens up and she'll run down what was going on. Says it was a pretty bad laceration from really an unknown source, but we got it stitched up and found him a place to stay and got him out of here. But it was just, I haven't seen him in probably 2 years now, and it was just very unnerving for him to just pop in. But I'm glad we got him patched up.
Any idea what happened to him to cause the injuries?
It was a bad gash and a burn. It may have been something that would have happened like a car wreck or something, but there was no mention of such a thing. He came in on his own. I don't know. He was a little incoherent, babbling about this and that, but it was just his person surprised me. I didn't expect to find him Port Prosperity, but yet somehow here he is. But it's okay. I closed that chapter in my life. And with that, she packs up and leaves. But you can still tell from the year that you've known her, she's quite disturbed. She don't normally get this messed up over just anybody, even with far worse work needing to be done. So anyway, that was just one of those things that really struck you as weird, is to have her so disturbed.
Okay, I'm gonna go around and talk to the rest of the staff and try to get a sense of what happened this morning.
I got you. They said this guy come in and wear a bathrobe, looked like he had the side of his side was burnt, and he was patched up first aid style, and he was back there soaking and getting sewn up for about an hour, and off they went. It was just probably the strangest thing, but she's been just on edge ever since. There've been a couple little things, some bumps and scrapes, but your typical, basically all we do is hand out Narcan. So this was just an unusual thing that this touched whatever her other world was she had before she came here. The stuff she doesn't talk about. Evidently this touched that, and that set her off a little. She wouldn't talk about it.
Everybody's got a past.
Yeah. But for her to get all this notoriety, is you forget that she has a past of some sort. All right. While this is going on, back at everyone else, let me see if I
Just
can
wanted
get.
to say howdy, Neff.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you pop in. I was switching maps.
Jeff was making a run to the Starbucks. I got the orders.
Make sure I got all this straightened up here. Bless you. So, all right. You get back to the camp, to the little Timber Fall bar. When you heard from as soon as you got there, that's where he was. You guys get there. It's fairly quiet. 'Cause like I said, it's early after lunch, afternoon. A few people around the bar. Looks like a card game going back in the corner back there. His character looks like he's kicked a chair down and fixing to challenge everybody to a fist fight over the results of the last game, but just couldn't get him to fit into a chair. Soldier back there playing with him, and just another logger. At the bar, there's a couple of the waitresses, and you can see the log boss talking with the colonel there at the bar. He's the one that's so stiff that he has to be at an angle. Beg, you recognize him instantly. You know this guy.
I recognize that individual or this individual.
The one at the fully erect over there, you can tell he's officer material. Everybody else you're looking down on, and he's just swaggering around like that.
Okay.
And the guy in front of him is basically your boss. And you can tell they're in a bit of a heated argument about why in the hell did you guys let anybody up there? You're supposed to have it be started already.
So I'll stand here and I'll try and signal the barkeeper, hey, come here. And basically a side of money is, hey, give a beer to that guy right there with this note, because I'm not going to go interrupt this conversation. And I'll give a simple hint like, we need to talk.
Right on. And so he does. Logan, what do you do?
Not on her.
Yeah, she's just lounging on the bar. She ain't really working.
Yet.
I think Logan's dying on the soup of the day over there.
I'll tell her, it's like, I just shot 2 cats today, about to shoot a third.
Yeah. So, you just hanging out by the door, or are you going on in? What are you doing? All right. So, where do you want to hit? Okay. Where'd you go? All right. So, sarsaparilla for the deputy. Since you're on duty.
But he has to say it like Sam Elliott. Sarsaparilla.
Yeah. It's all right. Now, the colonel looks at that note and he turns and looks at you and just kind of gives a slow nod. Yeah, I know you. And he basically just finishes his conversation with the log boss and says, all right, he said, I got my best guy up there checking it out right now. There he is. And with that, E2 hands it to you so he can get out from under this guy, and he splits. He's out.
So I kind of signal, leave the bar, come over here.
Yeah. And he'll come to you. So what is it, soldier? What's so happening? You got to come in here.
Two things. One, someone stole my truck, and I think I know who did. Side eye over here.
Yeah, I see.
Secondly, there's basically a gaggle of everyone grab assing through the woods that we were ordered to cut down. Everyone from feds, the black hats, some of the soldiers from the base. Everyone's out there just trudging through the woods. There's something that I don't.
I don't know why not. It's a restricted area. We're fixing to start building over there, so we're just wanting to clear that area out. Figured we'd be kind enough to donate some of the wood.
Sarah, don't insult me. I've done enough shit for you in the past. You're a terrible liar.
Yeah, it's got me where I am today. I'm not a general. About that time, he gets a squawk over the radio that they've found. They finally got back with the squad and told them, hey, look, there's something going on up here. And said, something big deal going on up here. He looks at you and he says, that's what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
And sitting there, and they said, he goes, how weird are you talking? He goes, NX level weird.
It's far out, man. Space cadet weird.
Yeah, so about then he signals to the soldier over the table that the game's over. And go ahead and give me a gambling roll there, Phil. Let's see how you're doing. Oh, yeah. You got this hand done to yourself. And dude folds and takes what few chips he's got left and starts to bolt. Something's up. Because you've been taking this guy for his monthly money for all day. You hate to see your meal ticket going out the door. This other guy over here is just by himself. You're not going to be able to get anywhere with him. This other guy, he was spending most of his time trying to figure out his tails. He's no challenge anymore. So the game's going to fall apart. You've realized you just won your last hand. And now you got this deputy over here eyeing you for some reason.
Just a friendly game of poker.
I'll go over there and be like, I'll take his spot.
All right. The soldiers hustle out. It's all right. You guys have a shot in another game. Logan, give me a perception roll. So I'll do it for you since I'm over here. See if he's really watching. He's not. He's paying attention. So throw me some gambling rolls out here. Let's see what you get. And like I said, you've seen this guy in here before. He's pretty much a card shark. And he just grins at you and takes the first hand right there.
It starts slow, but I get high as it gets going.
And at that point, your third player basically gives up. He says, dude, you've been taking my money all day. All day. I'm out. So he's gone. But that also answers your question there, Lucky. If he's been in here all day, there's no way he could have got your truck.
Yeah, but he's useful for other things. So I put another hand in.
All right.
Look at him. I go, between you, me, and the cards, you heard anything strange going on around here?
The cards say the strange is in the eye of the beholder, but the word around town is that this whole mess with the military deciding to cut down that logging, say to do all that logging, just came down just all of a sudden. Like they just made the decision a month or two ago. Which that's unusual for the military.
Indeed, it is. I give him my money and I go, this the other guy left ain't gonna be much between you and me. You have a good one.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run you off. I had a couple of lucky hands there.
You're fine. I doubt we're gonna get a third in here, and looks like the tavern's kind of drying up a bit.
But anyway, you picked up on every bit of those conversations, be it given your position and the way you do things. Give me a perception roll. We'll see how much of it you got there, Phil.
Perception, that is under.
That's a base. Top right.
That's base, yeah.
All right. So basically what you got is their story is they're going to want all that cleared out so they can build something. If they build something there, that's going to be the closest facility they have to town outside of the geothermal plant that powers it all. That's a red flag, as well as the speediness of how it's done. Now there's something else going on up there that just drew all of them out of here in a double time harch. So now it's got your interest piqued. You're getting ready to want to sneak up there too. All right. Deputy, you've been sitting here listening and asking around there at the bar. Dude's been here all day. So he couldn't have stolen the truck. And then now you've seen the military go running out of here, literally. Go back up there to see what in the hell is going on. Now what are you going to do? You want to go back up there and see what's going on? Or do you need to take dude on to town to finish your report about a stolen truck? Okay. So he's talking about going on into town to get the paperwork started and see if they can't find it. Just ride around a little bit. But there's something that's itching, wanting you to go back up top too. There are plenty of vehicles you could snitch one. There's one you can just go get in and go, but it's not like it's yours. So you got choices about which way to go.
If the deputy wants to go back up, he can. I want my truck.
Yeah. You saw he was going to go into town and look for it and do the paperwork. You can go, you can not go.
Yeah, I want to go. I want my truck back. Whether writing a report or we find it while driving through.
I got you. So, Phil, that kind of leaves you with a dry table.
All right.
Yeah, they'll offer to give you a ride to town if you don't want to go sneaking around on your own.
Oh, I think I'll. Somebody stole his truck. That's not very nice.
It disappeared.
All right. I think I'll. I think I will hop on my motorcycle and go up to and see if I can get up there and see what's going on.
It'll take a little sneaking. Give me a little hide sneak roll. See what you do.
Oh, wow. I must ride a Harley.
Yeah. The good news is the deputy ain't there guarding the gate right now. All right. So, given that, I got to start flipping maps again. Up in the northeast of this map, you find Zara just wandering around looking for her next mark. And there's a brand new truck sitting there with the keys in it, just on the other side of the clinic. Sometimes that wouldn't be a big deal, but it's cold. It's been here a while.
Yeah. I'll go check it out at least.
Yeah. So down here, like I say, you're through here all the time, just trying to. Some of these bumpkins come rolling into town and leave all sorts of stuff in these trucks, because almost everybody has one. Given the nature of the atmosphere, it's damp and muddy 90% of the time. Everybody's got some sort of four-wheel drive, pretty much. So you're used to this kind of thing, but they're always a good mark to try to look at. But it's full of logging gear in the back. And the thing is, it's parked up there crooked and on the sidewalk. So it's definitely out of sorts. Something you can tell was hastily left.
Right.
For somebody being in such a damn hurry, they left their keys in it.
Anything else that I can see as far as why it might have been left in a hurry?
Give me a perception roll or investigation, whichever is higher.
I don't see investigation, so
It's a specialization. It'd be something
Right.
you had to have
yeah,
added.
so I don't see it.
Okay, so perception's a base. It's top right.
I don't see much apparently.
You can see this much. There's blood on the armrest of the passenger side door.
Ah,
Not a lot. Maybe something about the size of a quarter, but you can tell it's just smeared like it was something they were trying to deal with when they came to the clinic. But
okay.
like I said, the truck's cold. It's been sitting here for a couple of hours in this shape. And the driver's door is not even shut good. I just struck you as weird all around, because if it was something that was that big a deal, somebody
Right.
would have ordered back out here and sealed it back up by now.
Yeah, probably. It must have gone in and just didn't come back out the same way.
Yeah.
Had no interest in this particular vehicle.
Just hit the nail on the head. There's a big clue right there.
Mm.
Like I said, there's some logging gear in there and a few odd things. And nothing that really looks like it'll bring you a great deal of money other than the truck itself.
And that in itself might lead to more questions than I want.
There you go. Yeah. I didn't have much way to bring you in. Give me a break. All right. But anyway, that's the first thing you've seen today, and it just really strikes you as odd. You're more than welcome to leave it. But like I said, it's just something that makes you wonder what in the hell is going on, because that there's enough amiss there that piques your interest, curiosity, if nothing else. All right. So I've at least gotten you a mention.
Yeah.
We'll come back to more. All right. So with that, and I don't have it on screen here. Oh, come on, act right. Thank you. Being rusty as a DM sucks.
Rusty's pretty good at it.
I should have had all this sitting on the side. Now I got to resize everything to fit. It's not that fat. Not that skinny. I don't care. Whatever. Made even fatter.
Sound like Goldilocks now.
Anyway, you guys are going through town and you do actually see the truck. You pull up there by it, and you guys are probably going to be way out of size, but I'm going to bring you in here. Yeah. Logan's too big. He's too small. It's definitely Goldilocks.
We've gone through some sort of time anomaly.
Yeah. Yeah, eat me, drink me. Yeah. Yours is the same size, just for some reason or other, it's smaller than anybody else. I don't know. All right, there you go.
They just got to make me 2 grids bigger.
Yeah. You're at the clinic, they make stuff for that. So.
I've gotten so big I can't fit in my truck.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. I have found if you keep the grid squares on the map, it plays hell with these tokens.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to get rid of it, but I just hadn't gotten it done yet. But anywho, you found your truck, and there's a civilian kind of sniffing around of it, but not anything weird, other than the fact of, why is this truck parked back here?
Walk up to an axe in hand. What the fuck's my truck doing parked back here?
Yeah. The thing is, your keys are still.
So I'm actually going to take a few things off my person, mainly my trailblazing pack. I'm going to keep my pistol on me. I'm going to take my keys, lock it, shut the door. And I'm going to eyeball this person. I'm going to come back to the deputy. I'm like, at that, this seems a little suspicious, don't you think? Because wasn't there something about that cave? Like first aid kits or bandages or something?
Yeah. Seem to remember that. You went in there.
So my truck was stolen. The one person in town I thought stole it didn't. And we find said truck outside the hospital. Methinks our person of interest might be inside.
I'll go check it out. Okay. All right, we're flipping maps again. Yeah, I gotta get you on this map. Deputy, you're twice size as everybody else.
It's like, all right, everyone, this is a random Percocet Vicodin check.
Yeah.
I need everyone to bring that up front so we can inspect it real quick.
And Dr. Caddick had already left, so that leaves you in charge there, Chris.
All right. Anything I can help you folks with?
You're the deputy. You need to speak up.
Recently, a truck was found missing and was recently rediscovered outside on this property. And we have reason to believe that the suspect who might have stolen it might be in here.
We don't allow trucks inside. They're usually mobile. They're usually mobile or they're not when they come through here. I just came on shift, but the only thing we've had interesting today was we had some sort of hobo come through with burn marks, but nobody said anything about him driving anything. He's left though.
But that's the thing. Nobody seems to know where they went. So need some investigation and perceptions from everybody. See if you figure out how he got out of here.
Once we patch them up, we send them on their way once they've got their bill.
Yeah, especially if they don't have insurance.
If they don't have insurance, they take the bandages back.
Yeah.
Where did they come from? Where did they go?
Cotton Eye Joe, given those roles, you do know from what the doctor told you and what the nurses told you that dude came in with the accompaniment of a minor female. They went through Dr. Caddick's little magic bath stuff, got patched up, and they left. But they didn't go back out the front. Video surveillance confirms that. So after searching the building, they either went out here through the ER doors or out the back up here. Dang it. They're back up here. But even on this planet, they got some real shitty HIPAA laws. So there's no cameras back here on this side where all the patients are. There's no, like I said, so evidently they didn't go out the front door and they didn't go out the ER door. The ER door is the way they came in. That's close to where the truck was parked.
Who'd you say did the treatment?
Dr. Caddick.
Cool.
She's already left.
I'm not a doctor, but I'll make a house call.
I got you. I ain't got a map for that. But I'll let you know that when you figure that out, that be a deputy, she's not home, which is unusual too, because typically she's just a homebody, does home and work. It's all anybody ever sees her do. Maybe the grocery store. So something's afoot anyway. So anyway, you got your truck back. We don't necessarily know who took it. Give me another perception roll, Logan, or investigation. Let me find your sheet. I got used to you having your machine here. Anyway, we'll do it on Lucky's suggestion. Take a sample of that blood off the armrest. See if we can't match it to anybody. That may take a little time. So it'll be processed here at the clinic anyway, so there's no need you taking it back to the police station. You can just have it sent up here. So that hooks you up. You always either stay here or you go back up top or you go different directions. What are you doing?
So I'm going home for now.
I got you. All right. Other shit's going down up at the mountainside. Are you going to go back up there? Okay. So that sends us back up there. Now that everybody gets back to the mountainside, with the exception of Lucky, I'll just pull you off the map. Give me another stealth roller, Phil. Let's see if you made it up here. I'll live with that. All right. So we'll have you being sneaky over here in the bushes somewhere. Anyway, the colonel's up here. He looks a little squished, but it's just the way the tokens are sized on this map. And they're about to square up on that little dome of snow that's forming over there. It's not really all down the sides. It's just like a little cap floating in air. They can tell something's up. But they brought in this biggest, meanest, ugliest floating tank. Now, you've seen tanks before, but they all had treads and shook the ground. This thing's quiet, which among the ex-military types like Stephen raises an eyebrow.
Not just them. It should be pretty obvious to anyone that that's tech that we don't normally have.
Right. So anyway, he's waving everybody back away from the... Oh, yeah, that's definitely nothing that you've seen.
Seeing that they're pretty, the intent seems to be to treat whatever this is with aggression.
Yeah.
The scientists, Colonel, if I may, we don't necessarily understand what we're dealing with here, and this should not be our first reaction, I think.
I just want to see what's behind that shield.
We already have an idea what's behind the shield. We found a weak spot on the other side. Why don't we focus effort on being a more cautious, less destructive probe than what that would do? My concern is whatever's on the other side, I still want it to be there. And besides, the scientist is really first damn thing the military does is pull out a big gun. Of course, but no, he didn't say that. Trying to be reasonable.
Because this thing's has a, you can see him struggling. He's sitting there. It has an unusual ordinance. It may be just enough to get that shield down where we can examine what's beyond.
Well, shall I show you or some of your men what we found earlier? That there was a weak spot, that a much smaller blast was able to penetrate briefly?
Okay. So he'll follow you. Of course, it's resealed now. It only lasted a few seconds.
And explained this was, don't recall the character's name, but this was
Yeah.
Mr. Pegg. Blasted it right up here. It was right around here. Did see something on the other side very briefly, but it seemed to see us. So we didn't ponder. We didn't linger. Colonel, is it really necessary that this thing is obviously not going anywhere soon? Just need, if we could get some instruments in here, measure the whatever this is, radiation, field strength, I think it would be more valuable than just trying to blast a hole in it.
I'll say
Yeah,
we're looking for more, but it's the only way to be sure.
Yeah. Again, that's still his attitude. Senator says, right, but these are the tools I have in hand.
I understand, but what's the hurry?
And other than be as droll as saying that's classified, he just kind of keeps his mouth shut.
Well, at the very least, we can try probing here first and see if this weak spot still exists.
Right on. How do you propose we proceed, Professor?
The last guy shot it with a big gun. Not as big as that one.
What do you think I'm doing? Mine's even bigger.
Your rifle. He had a rifle, then he shot it with that.
Now let's see. I'm just curious myself now. So just for giggles, let's just say they've got something similar. Peg, why don't you make life easier and we can just fire that thing for me? Just so don't have to look it all up. It definitely hits it. Give me a damage. I guess that's what I was after.
What damage does it do?
You go 7D. Yeah, if you had it.
Yes, it was.
It's
Way
pretty
out.
significant. Yeah.
Didn't it have a damage roll with that weapon? Click on it in the equipment side.
Oh, there it is.
And to counter that, so that one wasn't enough to. He rolled good enough on the backside of that to counter it. But you do see a. Oops, wrong one.
And this stuff had some sort of camera or something ready to take a picture of what's inside.
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't really enough. You just get a little like a blue effect to it. It gets a little thin. You can again see just like a hallway. It's just a rectangular corridor for a second, and then it fades right back out. He didn't hit it with as much of a difference this time as it was before.
But it still proves the point. You know,
Yeah.
It's not necessary to blast it with a tank. We can use something smaller. So there you have it. You just need to calibrate.
Yeah. So we can tone ours down. We're on a different level even from that.
More power. More power.
Yeah.
He really wants to use that tank.
It's untested. He wants to see it do something.
It's untested. How do you
Untested on
Yeah.
this. This is what it was created for.
wait? What? Well, how do you?
Ah.
No. So Nevillerum is taken aback by that. Created for this? You mean you knew that? Okay, Colonel, you may have some explanation to do.
All right. So
Colonel goes, fire again.
Yeah, fire for effect. Go what? What?
all right, so there's that. And no, even worse. Just you blew me away. I had a bunch of ones the other day. I had no way to let you do it. All right, Doc, we're gonna have a little battle here. We're gonna do a little bit of command on his part versus your persuasion. I'll let you pick what you want to use to counter it.
Okay, that's going to be under the perception skill tree anyway. So
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. I don't really have anything aside from base, so just roll base.
Yeah, that's pretty good though.
Oh
I ain't got to tell you shit.
no, that's close enough that they're actually arguing.
Yeah.
Loud, just in your face arguing about it. I've been working for a year on this project on the other side, the hot side, with stuff that no one, in theory, has seen before. And you roll out this thing out of the blue as though you expected this. What has the military been keeping from us all this time? On, right?
Oh yeah.
And I guess Phil, the trees over there, is getting an earful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said, and that's the point. Everybody is completely stunned by this transaction that's going on by the two powers that be on this field at the moment.
But by one point, he is the guy that commands that tank. So when he gets frustrated, he just says, "Get out of my way, Doctor. Fire."
Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. And let me change gears here. Oh, there you go. Yeah, boom. All right. I can go back now.
Adjust fire northwest.
All right. What in the hell was I done? I can't move it now. All right.
I'm seeing as how it's opening fire in our direction. I'm going to be
No, yeah.
next to the agents here, the deputy. We don't know how whatever's on the other side of that thing's going to react to this. We probably should be prepared to get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, I recognize that guy. He's the guy that they waved off the cameras on that was shouting at the camera in that Ancient Aliens documentary I saw in the middle of the night.
Yeah, actually, that's right. Aliens. That's right.
Crap. Somewhere in that transaction, I lost one of my effects, darn it. So anyway, what happens is there's this electrical interference that just plays over the dome, you instantly get an idea of the size of this thing, and it's roughly twice the size of that tank. And a perception roll from all present. I need one more. I need the one from the colonel. Where'd he go? All right. That shows up. And everybody higher than a 15 sees this little dude blast off and shoot off screen, R2 style.
So, player, I didn't catch that. That was just a droid that was outside.
He was the one projecting the shield.
Got it.
He
All right.
blasted off at treetop level. The 15s and above got it. Saw him leaving. So now you're left with 2-man starfighter.
Not that we know what that is. But the first thing to ask, or that
The colonel is ashen. He's got this look on his face.
what
And
did you expect?
he just starts barking orders. Basically, nobody leaves this field. And you tell them, they basically radio to base as the nurse says, okay, get the extraction team here now.
And guns get leveled at everybody.
Get in the back of this truck, kind of stuff.
Science will make one last chance to try to convince him to be a little less reactive here. Actually try to approach.
He'll let you walk up to it. He says, I respect your knowledge in this endeavor. That's why I must insist you come with us as we try to study this thing.
You couldn't hold me back, but let's look at that access corridor first. Is it open or just?
What you were seeing, where you were shooting was right here back between the engines.
Yeah.
So you're looking down between the landing gear through the front of it.
I got you.
It looks kind of like a hallway. The droid was over here offset, and you can see the hole where he was boogered down in, and it's got a ladder on that side, but the canopy is down.
So, any markings on the outside, that lettering that we've been seeing?
There may be some, but it's not very broadly emblazoned. It may be very small, beware engine blast or something like that. But it's not going to be like a big symbol on the side of it identifying its affiliation or anything.
Beware engine blast, no step.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But Arabesh may appear on it, yes.
That's the point, yeah. It resembles an aircraft, actually, which is strange. It's a very strangely shaped one.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing like anything you've seen. The wings aren't broad enough to provide the kind of lift you're used to being familiar with, particularly something of this mass.
And what's also interesting is the ladder. That would imply
Bipedal.
Somebody that could use a ladder to climb up and down. Somebody a lot like us. Now, this thing has been here a while.
Yeah.
And frankly,
if you've got somebody who's steeped in tracking, given the estimated weight of this thing, it's probably been sitting here for 2, maybe 3 days.
and any sort of from radiation or other like exposure to biological agents that shield provided to us is gone now. So you'll climb the ladder.
All right.
And take a peek inside the canopy.
And what you see in there is, again, makes you feel it's a bipedal life form because it looks like a typical seat. You have a yoke and a throttle. Everything else is dark. You can't tell what's going on. Maybe one or two little blinking lights on, but you have no clue how to open this thing.
Not gonna try. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't anybody in there.
Yeah, it's vacated.
All
And
right.
matter of fact, probably one of the belly doors is open and empty where the supplies have been removed.
Okay, climb back down and report what I found. It's going to take a while to dig through this, but you still have some explanation to do. You expected this?
Anticipated, not necessarily expected. You
On
know,
what grounds? I don't think there was a lot of my research that would have he looks over at the tank. He wouldn't know the difference between a trit tank or a floating tank, but I've never seen anything like that.
All right, doctor, I need to bring you up to speed on this. At this point, you deserve that much, and we need your help.
So he turns to face him, arms crossed, and just what he was wanting. Okay.
All right. And he'll lead you back to the northeast over here where we were earlier. It's not anything on that map to really show you anything, but it's right at the corner of the two maps where, a little over 6 months ago, 8 months ago, we found a crashed craft. I would say crashed. It seems like it was actually set there on purpose, but it was damaged, sabotaged, really, because it didn't look like damage that came from crashing in. There wasn't a whole lot of trees down or anything. What trees you saw down over there were us trying to get it out. We drug it back to the mountain and we disassembled it, and we learned how to make these heavy lasers and this anti-grav engine for this thing. And we would really love to have this miniaturized more where we could carry these beam weapons. Then we could take it to those people across the ocean. But we didn't find any people. We found evidence. We found seeds, refuse, but we don't know what kind of threat we're dealing with here.
So Nevillerum is taking that all in, and he's thinking, of course, the first thing they want to do with it is go start a war.
Precisely.
And then he thinks, oh, hell, we do know where this person was, I think. They took a bunch of supplies. We found a cave. We found a bunch of someone who had been injured. We suspected they may have gone into town to seek some sort of help. And unfortunately, we sent somebody back to report that to the military. Damn it. Okay.
Just for giggles, give me one more perception roll there, Never.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I need you to give me a good one.
You know how it goes.
But I'll have mercy on you. Do it again.
You go worse. Oh, okay. Guess not.
There is blood on the edge of the canopy where you can tell it was drug out.
So they were injured while they were inside. Yeah. So, yeah.
And if you go around the other side, you can see some blackened marks on it where you can tell it was hit on the port side.
Wait. Colonel, let me show you something. He doesn't show him the blood, but he shows him the scoring marks.
Yeah.
This thing is here because something shot at it. And you are worried about picking a fight with our neighbors? I think you should be more concerned by that. These folks obviously have technology and capabilities far in advance of what you have, even with that tank. Worry about who shot that.
He said, and you maybe have a point, but know this, Doctor, we have to be prepared to return apples with apples, or
And unfortunately, he has a point there too.
We'll be grossly subjugated. This is still the same sort of thing we already have on this scale. It just refined it. We haven't quite gotten what we're calling repulsor technology that will revolutionize the way we do things. But the populace isn't ready for that yet. We've been getting by for more than 300 years on fossil fuels. There are people who picket in front of the geothermal plant. And that was been here as long as any of us remember. There are things that you have been searching for the origin of our species. But
the problem with that search is I'm now realizing is you may not like the answers.
Precisely. There may be much more to all of this than any of us understand. I'm just trying to keep mass panic down in town.
So the Nevelin is
ancient alien.
Yeah, ancient aliens. So he's processing it and says to the colonel, all right, I think you were told that we found evidence that someone had been injured. There's a cave nearby. That's probably where my time is best spent right now, is trying to find that person. You can recover this vehicle and get it ready, and we can look into what we can look into later, but that person is hopefully still nearby. And there may be a language barrier, there may be any number of other barriers, but if we're going to get to the bottom of what's going on, that's who we need to find.
Yeah. Trying to find my right screen here. It's not letting me.
So I know that you don't want people leaving the area, but I think this needs to happen. If you want to send some men with me to make sure I don't go wandering off, that's fine. But
right. He says, tell you what, they're not going to be able to get we're to be careful enough with this. We're going to cordon off this entire area. So we're going to bring in more troops. We're going to watch this thing and we'll try to figure out the best way of moving it without disturbing it, without damaging it. Because we don't know what it can do or what it could do. So it's probably going to be a few days before we can do anything with it. But we're going to sit here and watch it. I'll accompany you to town. And we'll see what we can find out.
Let's go.
All right. So, Neff, I will let you speak for the feds. Are they going to continue to sit here and watch this thing? Or are they going to send you into town with everybody else, too?
I think they'll keep eyes on it for a little bit. Maybe split up in a rotation.
I got you. So anyway, I guess I'm saying, where are you going? Are you staying or are you going into town?
Obviously, you got to go into town to get more coffee because they're going to need it.
Probably, yeah. I'll be going on the supply run to start, and I'll be on a later shift.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I saw that earlier.
So
I thought,
that's
just perfect. I'm not saying I told you. I told you.
So with that sneak roll, did I manage to sneak away without getting caught?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll be damned, but I'll give you that. So they basically detain you there, deputy, because your handiest perimeter duty. You can go back to guarding the gate again. Don't let anybody up here unless it's some of our guys. And we'll have Neff bring you some coffee. All right. It's going to wind up being a short night, but I got one more scene before I put it up for the evening. So anyway, after everybody acting weird about that truck, man, this coffee's terrible.
This is decaf. I want a regular coffee.
This coffee tastes like dirt. That's fine. It was just ground this morning. All right. But Zara, for some reason or another, as the evening comes to a close, you see a rocket-powered garbage can fly over the top of the hospital.
That's definitely different.
It just basically sounds.
It's Amazon. It's alien Jeff Bezos doing that new delivery service.
It's the thing is this green cylinder. It's got two little rockets on the sides, and it's just bebopping through the air at maybe 10 miles an hour, not really doing anything of any great speed.
Wait a minute. It's not trash day.
Precisely. And like I said, it just sounds like some sort of something escaping steam or something. It's not very loud.
Just try to track it with my eyes, see where it's heading.
All right. So that falls under a few different things. We could call it tracking, or we could call it perception to keep up with it. However you want to do. I think tracking is a knowledge skill, but it's not one that everybody has either.
Yeah, that's not one of the ones I have. So perception it is.
There's a search roll, I think, but whichever's higher.
They're both the same.
Yeah. Okay. And you basically lose it, but you see it just flies over the building. And as you come around the building, you don't hear the sound anymore, but you don't see it anywhere to know what happened. But you're now definitely knowing something weird is going on. And I've somehow found a way to touch every character tonight. Let's see. What is your base perception there, Joan?
2D.
All right. There's a blank space under perception. Type you in an investigation skill at a 3. And I'll give you that. It's the only thing I hate about this character sheet. It only gives you like one option to add something.
Right.
Investigation you can always use. Last time we played, I had a different sheet that had more stuff, but somehow or another Roll20 deleted it. There's only this one and one more that's worse, that you just cannot see it because everything's in little bitty tiny boxes. So that's pretty much going to get us tonight. We covered a lot of ground. I got to use some of my new effects I bought.
And we found out about the ancient aliens, and they're here.
Yeah. And they're downtown stealing trucks.
I'm putting rockets on trash cans.
Yeah.
Even aliens know to buy a Ford.
Yeah. So the way this is all lined up is the next session we'll probably finish this terrestrial part of our game. A whole lot depends on just how much everything falls in place and how much the big fight takes. It may wind up being an extra game out of that. So I'm going to try to arrange a guest star to play one of my characters for that, but I doubt it. He's hard to get. You know, most everybody knows Brother Howard, but Roll Qatar is his age-old Jedi character from the Old Republic. So might get him to reprise him. I don't know, but we'll just see.
If you can get him, that'd be great. If not, then you can watch the video.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, like I said, I really wanted to go a little further, and some of my effects fell flat. I clicked 2 things at once and it deleted one of them. Because I had after the explosion, I was supposed to leave a electrical effect over the ship where it appeared, but
Oh, nice.
trying to stack everything, it lost it. Everything's in the same place and trying to reveal different things at different times.
Yeah, some of them just don't work quite right anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week is Star Trek, not a musical episode.
Yeah, please no.
But the musical episode was really good. We watched it last night.
Yeah.
It was like, oh boy.
Why
It
are
was
we singing?
different.
I don't know why we are singing. The lights are
Why
black.
are,
That Strange New Worlds or what?
Yeah, Strange New Worlds.
Makes sense.
And I assume you haven't seen it then.
No, I haven't.
They gave an in-universe reason why they were all singing, but it was still, that's what it was meant to be. It's a musical episode, Oscar and Hammerstein.
Yeah.
And what they did with it is just amazingly well done. And the final scene, no spoilers, this whole thing pissed off the Klingons. And there's a scene with the Klingons in there. Oh my God.
I was really hoping for some Klingon opera.
Me too. But what we got was still pretty amazing.
Well, it's Klingon. It could still be considered K-pop.
So yeah, if you get the opportunity, I don't even know if you have Paramount Plus, but yeah, watch it.
There were a lot of things in this season that I thought really gave us the actors' ranges and their concept of their characters. All the Klingon War PTSD our crew is dealing with is well represented in this season. I feel like there was some good stuff with the way M'Bengo acted in those situations.
Hello.
You have to lean in a little further. I got her.
Hello there.
Howdy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
You can actually see Florida.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Give me a second.
I just got
His
home.
ability cloak is flickering.
Yeah.
That was the subject of tonight's game, actually. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just got home.
Yeah. So now I can see you.
Yep.
How's everybody?
All right.
all
how are
right.
you?
Yep. Hanging in there.
Can't complain.
We just found out there's proof of the alien.
Alien.
Proof of aliens?
We went outed.
Oh, damn. Means we got to move again. Fucker.
Yeah. We have to defy the big giant head once again.
What, magnanimous?
I'm going to go find a snack and spend time with Biddy.
Okay.
Mm.
We're
See y'all later.
wrapping up. We actually got done pretty quick tonight.
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous. Maybe I can't even touch that. The word.
If Korean pop is K-pop, what is Chinese rap? C rap.
Yeah. Yeah. Peg has a little bit of rap in his repertoire. Other than some really old school, I don't have much in mind. I think the newest thing I got was 10 past midnight. Mama said knock you out, maybe.
You are getting old school there.
No, that's Rapper's Delight or whatever. Parents just don't understand. My Posse's on Broadway. There you go.
Don't forget Just a Friend. That was my favorite.
Did that
I
even
have that.
classify? I thought that was just bad R&B.
I have that single on cassette.
I used to DJ all our high school dances, and that was one of the highlights as we'd play that song and everybody would sing along.
I asked Christopher if he did a little dance last week that DJ Casper passed. So no more cha-cha slide.
I'd seen that.
He actually did a lot of wedding DJs and stuff, so I'm sure he was pretty sick of that one.
Yeah, it was that one and one other, The Wobble. That
Mhm.
was another really popular one. Everyone wanted at their wedding. It's please don't stop.
Yeah.
Be well on.
Netflix is stopping mailing out DVDs soon. Very sad about that.
I didn't even know they still did.
That's the reaction most people have gotten when I told them.
Does that mean I need to return?
Yeah, one of the convenience stores I stop at still has a red box, and I don't know who still uses the red box. So apparently, I never see anyone using the red box, but apparently there's enough people still use it that they keep it around.
I think there's one at the Walgreens here in town.
Yes.
There's still
there
two at
is.
the Walgreens in Lewisburg.
I haven't had the problem since moving out here, but like I used to, the internet wouldn't be so dependable. So those times when it was out, when I'm out in the country, it was nice to have a DVD on hand I could watch instead.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're slowly replacing all of our DVDs with this voodoo stuff. But I'm not getting rid of my hard copies either in case the world does end. But we're up to over 800 titles on voodoo.
Wow.
Just because you don't understand the technology doesn't mean it's voodoo.
But we did download one to watch with the kids tomorrow. It's like instead of killer tomatoes, this was the killer donuts. Little donuts with teeth.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get to a Friday night where there's absolutely nothing to watch. You can put that one.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is a classic, though.
Oh, yeah. It's in there, too. It's like Prego. There's a few movies we have that were so bad that we had to have them. Just so we can do our own Mystery Science Theater 3000 to things. Battle Beyond the Stars, just for the Starship. The movie was terrible, but there were glimmers of hope in it.
If
The
you
Battle
haven't
Beyond
seen,
the Stars wasn't a particularly good movie, but it had its heart in the right place. It's the 2 or 3 movies that that all copied all the special effects from them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
if you haven't seen Star Crash, I would recommend that one.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. We looked at it, but we didn't pull the trigger on that one.
It might be worth just grabbing the Mystery Science Theater version of that one, just
I mean,
because.
did have to go back and get Forbidden Planet and some of these absolute classics. We've been debating Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. And like I said, Them was one of the very first movies that ever scared me shitless.
Actually, if you get Star Crash and Message from Space, then you can watch it just back to back with Star Wars, and you'd have Star Wars, Italian knockoff Star Wars, Japanese knockoff Star Wars.
Yeah.
You can also get Space Bandits while you're at it.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate. Very first roll of the game.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Again, I'm seeing Spaceballs. He ain't found shit. Needless to say, I've been working on phase 2. And I have been wading through maps and stuff to the point I'm getting cross-eyed. But we'll be in more familiar environs when we do that. It's just all the characters we've created are kind of lost in Star Wars. That's what makes this cool. It's kind of like the Marvel game where nobody knew what their superpowers were when we started. Always has to be a wrinkle. In some of this searching, I've actually found a few further forward Star Trek maps. Some of them can still be used. I found a really good small sick bay, only 4 beds. That may still be useful for us.
Anything that you think is useful, send on. We'll see.
Like I said, I've been finding some things. And they had that big sale last month where I bought a bunch of Star Warsy tokens and things and all these effects where they had stuff on for half price. Still had some stuff on this generous gift card that was given to me and using some of it there. That way I can share the love with everybody. But I'm still at a loss for maps in a lot of places. But I'm getting there. Enough we can fake it for a little while.
Yeah, you can always invoke the Mind Palace.
Oh, yeah.
Or a singing episode.
Oh,
Or
I'm
I'm
gonna be
sticking
sick.
in something off graph paper.
Yeah, stick figures are always good, so it's fine.
Yeah, we've done that too.
Indeed.
Took Logan
You
by
can,
last night and he gave him a couple of sets of dice.
you can do the obligatory someone is mortally wounded and there's the cure somewhere while the party's doing that. You can do flashbacks from the other person.
Yeah. I've got books and books of hooks. It's just getting the environments and play map to do it in. It's just doing it digital that I'm still parsing through. I fudge my way around, but I'm just not as perfect as some of you guys are a little more practiced.
I think the key is just don't sweat it.
Yeah.
We're perfectly good with theater of the mind, and that's fine.
Just roll with it.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
I'm getting close. I didn't set out to write a small novel for my intro story, but here I am doing just that. It's wow, this really got out of hand. Oh my god.
All I can tell you is I can send you a few reams of shit that we wrote about that age. We got our creativity going, and we would write hundreds of pages before we knew anything happened. Our Star Trek stuff is just sheafs of paper.
Yeah, but that was a different time. More time, more energy, less pain. Yeah, just a different time.
About Peg's age of 30 and less, we were generating quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, that was, as you say, reams.
Yeah, Doc, between you and me, I think we did a couple of 100 pages worth of stuff out of Rusty's game.
Oh, yeah.
Sideline materials.
And some of that was some of my best writing, too. I really liked some of the stuff that came out of that. But collectively, yeah, there was a lot that went into it. It was a good time.
Yeah, if I wasn't writing in Star Trek Sandbox, I'd probably try to move some of mine. The whole Cardozo thing was a wonderful story. Just the anguish that went through that man made for an interesting writing. And the fear of losing the one you love was so much of Jamie and Jesse's story. That alone was 700 pages. So
I don't know that we'll have the organization to do it, but at some point it would be nice to kind of centralize all that stuff.
I have tried. We did go through and do everything Tom Clancy wise, or we dated to give a star date and what ship they were on, where they were close to fit it in the game time. But
that was really a writing hook because it was for consistency's sake.
Yeah.
To try to figure out, okay, I want this character to do such and such, but does that even make sense given the continuity of what has come before? So somewhere there's a list of all the names that Star Trek's blown up of ships.
Yeah.
So somebody who's keeping a master list someplace.
Yeah. How many battles of Starbase 215 have there been?
4.
Yeah. 2 that I was present for. I want to know how many more little jaunts that, say, Carrie and her Uncle Joe had in the simulator, besides that one where they were in MiGs and Sabres. So you give me some with sensors, I'll blow your ass out of the sky. So next time it's Spads and Fokers. You try some of those maneuvers and they'll snap like twigs. They were twigs, if I remember. There was just some great stuff in some of those.
So I guess what we're saying, Peg, is keep writing.
Yeah.
We want the novel.
Yeah, right on. Logan says he's writing a novel for his too. So
there you go. Both of you. Keep writing.
I think that's the best way for world building, and then condense it down for what you need storytelling wise for here.
Yep.
Don't condense it. I like it from concentrate. Keep writing. Sorry, Willow, I didn't see you down there. Something about a black cat in the shadow.
I'll catch y'all later.
All right.
Yep.
You will.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Everyone have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hey, y'all.
Y'all be easy.
Yep, you too.